Sola Scriptura, everyone. This is His Word Only. It's time to open up the box. So today, we're going to be talking about the Rephaim and the undead. And also, I'm going to reveal to you who I think death and hell are, and that they're actual entities. But anyways, let's get into this. We're going to start here in the Blue Letter Bible. That way we can get the reference, of Rephaim. And I understand there's new people coming here, so I know most of the people on this channel know who the Rephaim are, but just as a recap. So we have the word Rephaim, which goes into, let's get the meaning, the Strong's Concordance. Rapha, that's the root word, by the way. But giants, Rephaim, old tribe of giants. So that's what it means. So let's go back. Or here is the root word of Rephaim. Rapha. So the definition is to heal, make healthful, to heal, of God. Healer, physician of hurts of nations involving restored favor or individual distresses. To be healed, literal of persons, of water, pottery, of national hurts, of personal distress. To heal, literal of national to heal of national defects or hurts in order to get healed. So we're starting to see here where the Rephaim are reanimated, is what it's saying, right? Alright, so now we're getting into 2nd Enoch, chapter 71. And I believe it is 16 through 18. It's not on here, but I do believe that's what it is. And you're going to see here, it's going to talk about this false Melchizedek. The dark side Melchizedek, because the second book of Enoch is garbage. Let's just put it that way. It talks about God covering up the scandal and all this crap, and we already know that it said Enoch came to the face of the Lord, which is a porky. Nobody has, except for Jesus. But anyways, I digress. Okay, and Ner hurried, and he shut the door of his house and went to Ner his brother, or Noe his brother, and reported him to everything that had happened in connection with his wife. His wife had died, and she conceived. She's very old, right? And she conceived, and she was supposed to be barren and all this stuff. So something weird is going on here. And it says here, this goes with the abduction here stuff, like how people who get pregnant by this stuff or whatever feel. But she was ashamed and embarrassed, and she hid herself during all the days until she gave birth. Quite interesting. And not even, she has no idea how this happened, right? From what I can tell, anyways. Okay. Between connection with his wife, and Noe hurried and came with Ner his brother. He came into Ner's house because of the death of Saponim, and they discussed between themselves how her room was at the time of giving birth. And Noe said to Ner, "Don't let yourself be sorrowful, Ner, my brother, for the Lord today, ready, has covered up our scandal." Yeah, sure, buddy. Anyways, and that nobody from the people knows this, and cover up the scandal of our shame. And they placed upon him on the bed, and they wrapped her around the black garments, and shut her in the house prepared for burial. They dug a grave in secret. There you go. And a child came out from the dead Saponim. And he sat on the bed at her side, and Noe and Ner came to bury Saponim. and they saw the child sitting beside the dead upon him. Ready? Wiping his clothing. Wait a minute. This dude is coming out of her fully clothed, and it says here like 3 years old. Ready? And Noe and Ner were very terrified with a great fear, because the child was fully developed physically like a 3-year-old child. And he spoke with his lips, and he blessed the Lord. I wonder which Lord. And Noe and Ner looked at him, and behold, the badge of priesthood was on his chest, and it was glorious in appearance. And Noe and Ner said, Behold, God is renewing the priesthood from the blood related to us, just as he pleases. And Noe and Ner hurried, and they washed the child, and they dressed him up in garments of priesthood, and they gave him the holy bread, and he ate it. And they called his name Melchizedek. Or Melchizedek, tomato, tomato. Crazy, huh? He came out like a 3-year-old child already with clothes. Very interesting. Now, take it with a grain of salt. It is second book of Enoch. It's trash book. So was the third book of Enoch. But anyways, now let's get into the truth here, right? So, when you talk about these people, you gotta talk about Genesis 6, because there are new people who do come to this. So, Genesis 6, 1 through 4. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with men, for that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. And the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. See, here they're called Nephilim, right? But after the flood, they're called Rephaim, right? Because of dead things are formed from under the waters, and the habitants thereof. And we're going to see where these waters are come from. And on my channel, people probably know where I'm going with it. But anyways, so here's a couple, so you guys can get a picture of what they kind of look like, right? Or possibilities, right? Here's a good giant. Here's one. It's got a few arms. Here's this one. That guy. Here's this guy. These are figurines, I do believe. That guy. And how about this guy? This is probably what they really look like, almost. This is Game of Thrones. Quite interesting. There's another one. So, there you guys go. You guys get a picture of it. Okay, Revelation 6:8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. So we have here, right? Oops. Hold on, where was I going with that? Right here. Hell was naked before him, and destruction hath no covering. Okay. These are two entities here, guys. But here, I'm going to show you. And look, behold, a place that sat on death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them. See that? Them, their entities, over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with beasts of the earth. Quite interesting there. And with death, and all that. So, interesting. These are the Rephaims coming back too, right? But Genesis 1:2. This is where we're going to start getting into hell is. Genesis 1:2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Okay. I want you to focus on, and darkness was upon the face of the deep here. Here's the goddess Hel. This is Norse mythology, and her name is literally Hel. So, of course, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. Boom. Oops. Here's this one. Here's this one. This one. You see where I'm going with this? Darkness. Here's one. Darkness. And darkness. Okay. Now this is probably her original form. Right here. We're going to see. So you guys get a little. Here's some with feet. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Some leviathans with feet. Quite interesting. We know the serpent in the Garden of Eve, remember, lost his feet and all that and had to go on his belly. So, quite interesting, huh? And why am I saying that? Because, here, I want to prove to you that this is the deep. Okay, and on that day were two monsters parted. A female monster named Leviathan, ready to dwell in the abysses of the ocean over the fountains of the waters. This is the first book of Enoch. Chapter 50, I believe, or 6. Hold on. Let me get you the right. I'm terrible with Roman numerals. 60. Okay. Chapter 60, verse 7 here. But yeah, so there's a Leviathan, and then there's also the male was Behemoth. So there's a Leviathan and Behemoth there. This is who this is. And she can transform into being a human. Or maybe she is a human but has a Leviathan form. I don't know how all that works. I'm not even going to try to tell you how that works, right? But anyways, now let's get into it. Ezekiel 31, 4 through 6. The waters made him great. The deep, right here, set him up on high, with her rivers running round about his plants, and sent her little rivers into all the trees of the field. Therefore his height was exalted above all the trees of the field, and his boughs were multiplied, and his branches became long because of the multitude of the waters, when she shot forth. So, and the fowls of heaven made their nests and boughs under his branches. Did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young? And under his shadow dwelt all great nations. So, here we have the Assyrian. And I'll show you here. Okay, behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon. This Assyrian in Isaiah 14 is explained as a seraphim, just like Satan, right? A dragon, a seraphim means fiery serpent, right? And I know Satan is always depicted as a cherubim, but nowhere in the Bible does it say that. It calls him a dragon, right? A serpent. And that's what seraphim means, a fiery serpent. So, anyways. So there's that. Her rivers made him great, right? The waters made him great. The deep set him up on high. So is this where we have in Job, right? Job 26, 5 through 6. Dead things are formed from under the waters, and the inhabitants thereof. Hell is naked before him, and destruction hath no covering. Okay. So, now I want to end it on a good note here. Revelation 20 and 14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. Now we know who death and hell are. The destroyer, right? He's the one that's in there in the Exodus thing, right? Suffer not that the destroyer come for you, come or kill you, basically, or smite you, right? Death and hell. And hell is literally this person's name in Norse mythology. It's where we get the word hell from, I do believe. So, quite interesting, guys. Quite interesting. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.